Every time I see this book, I look back and I think of the amazing time I had reading it, and I wish I could go back in time. I have a sip of coffee now to wet the whistle, so to speak. Now we have a book that literally makes my soul feel like on fire, but in the best way. He is learning how to play by himself, so we're just gonna carry on and leave him to it. I'm sorry if he gets just... Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are doing my full recommendations. So these are all the books that I think you should pick up in the month of fall. The month of fall and the season of fall. It is the best time of the year by far. I am absolutely loving the fact that it is getting chillier, that the leaves are now changing. It has been making my day every single day, and I am so glad that we are here. I have a bunch of books that I recommend at this time of year. I have read a couple of these in the month of fall, not in the month of fall, I keep saying that. In the season of fall, I've read a few of these and it was top tier amazingness. So I'm here to share with you the books that I think you should read in this season. Can't forget the star of the show, we have a lovely cup of coffee right here. So good. The first book we have is a classic, and that is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This book has so much atmospheric scenery and reading to it. It is just absolutely amazing when it comes to gloominess. If you want a gloomy dark book, this is definitely going to tick your boxes, and I really recommend this book. It's, how long is it? Let's see. Yeah, it's 570 pages. So it's quite a big book. This doesn't look that big because of the type of book that it is, like the pages are super thin. This edition itself is really nice, and you can pick this up at Waterstones. And I really enjoyed reading this book. It took me a decent time to get through it because of the way that Charles Dickens writes, but nevertheless, I did enjoy it very much. I think I rated it like a 4.5 star, and I think you should pick it up if you want to read a classic this time of year. The second book we have is one of the best books that I have picked out. Every time I see this book, I look back and I think of the amazing time I had reading it, and I wish I could go back in time, and that is Fear Street by R.L. Stine. I annotated this book. It was honestly one of the best experiences I've ever had, and I read it about 4 years ago in the fall season, and it was honestly one of the best experiences ever. I really wish I could go back in time and reread this book because it was just absolutely amazing. I might reread it at some point. I don't know if I'll reread it this year, but there's another book in this stack that I am going to reread this year. But this book was honestly amazing. If you haven't read any of R.L. Stine's works before, he wrote the Goosebumps series that we know of, and I haven't read any of the Goosebumps series, which is quite surprising really, considering how much I rave about this book. Yeah, I don't know any of the other works that he has done, but I definitely want to pick up more of his writing because this was honestly fantastic. This is gloomy, it is spooky, but it's not gory, if that makes sense. The Fear Street movies are entirely different to how the books read, in my opinion. You get to a point in the book where it's like, oh, something's gonna happen, and then you get like a basic explanation as to why things happened the way they did. So it's not super scary, but it does build a really good feel. I can't really explain this right. I'm struggling to explain this. So we have The New Girl, The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and Missing. And all of these books are so good. I absolutely loved every single one of them. They were just such brilliant page turners. And I wish I could go back in time and reread this entire book from start to finish again. So I recommend picking this up. It's spooky, but it's not paranormal, it's intense, and it builds amazing atmosphere, and it's just fantastic. So I really recommend... Thank you, Billy. So I really recommend you picking up this book. It is fantastic. Should I read the back for you? I'm thinking maybe I should. Welcome to Fear Street, where strange things happen, people go missing, and nightmares come true. This is where it all began, where Fear Street became legend, forever linked with danger, curses, and things that go bump in the night. Go back to how it all started, to the moment where Corey Brooks falls for perfect, incredible Anna, only to learn that she's gone missing on Fear Street. Venture into the terrifying Fear Street woods, where Meg Dalton's best friend Evan died under mysterious circumstances, and discover why only Meg can uncover the truth behind his death. Follow Della to Fear Street and learn about the terrifying threats that forced Stella to confront her past and the incident that occurred on the island between her and a dangerous stranger. And finally, return to Fear Street with Mark and Cara Burroughs, who come home to find that their parents have disappeared, plunging them into a nightmare of chaos that neither of them could have ever predicted. The only thing they know for sure is that though Fear Street may be a mystery, not everyone escapes such an evil place alive. Only danger awaits those brave enough to travel down Fear Street. You're not afraid, are you? It is brilliant. It is such a fantastic book, and I cannot talk about it enough. Please pick this up. Now we have an oldie but a goodie. It's a bit intimidating, but it's honestly one of the best books I've ever read, and that is Priory of the Orange Tree. The start of this book just absolutely plunges you into a world of mystery, darkness, dragons, and incredible atmospheric. It's just honestly brilliant, and it's just such a good book. It is so fantastic, and it is so good at making you disappear into this world. It's very escapism, if that makes sense. You get a lot of escapism from this book, and it's honestly brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. It's a very long book, as you can see, but I do recommend picking this up because it is just perfect for this time of year. You follow the perspective of multiple different people, so you often... That's just Billy in his litter tray. Let's just pause for a minute. That's him done. You follow multiple perspectives, so if you get bored with one perspective, you very much get switched to another one, which is just as intriguing. Well, I never got bored reading this book. This book was just brilliant, and I read it in something like 2 weeks. Billy is deciding to play right now, so I don't know. I reckon we'll probably hear a few cat noises in the background, so please bear with me. He is a newly indoor cat, so he is learning how to play by himself, so we're just going to carry on and leave him to it. I'm sorry if he gets distracted, and yeah, I'm sorry about that. This book is just fantastic. It is honestly one of the best books I've ever read, and I do want to reread this. I probably won't reread it this year, but I will reread it at some point in time. That's what thestylist.co.uk said. Escapism at its finest. Shannon, we salute you. Melinda Salisbury said, one of the most exciting and innovative fantasy writers alive today. A world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. It's honestly just brilliant. It is so good. And don't let the size intimidate you. Just pick it up and go for it, because this is brilliant. I have a sip of coffee now to wet the whistle, so to speak. Now we have an oldie but a goodie. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I really don't need to explain much of why you need to read this book, but this is a perfect dark academia book for you to pick up this time of year. I got this special edition because of the anniversary. I think it was like the 20th year anniversary of The Secret History, something like that, and I love this edition so much. It is brilliant, and I really enjoyed reading this book. You follow a group of people who go to this very elite school, who are under the care of a professor who is a little bit crazy. And you end up learning more about how they get sucked into the class, really, and how the learning experience changes them. It is a brilliant book and I really enjoyed reading this. I found the ending to be quite surprising, to be honest. Even though I roughly knew what was going to happen in the very end, I was still surprised reading it. It was such a good read, and I really recommend picking this up this time of year. Now we have a book that literally makes my soul feel like on fire, but in the best way. I cannot rave about this book enough. This is my favourite out of all of the books that I am about to show you. This book is amazing, and that is The Cutthroat Cafe by Nikki Thornton. First of all, look at this cover. Look at how stunning this is. If this doesn't scream fall, then I don't know what doesn't, because this is absolutely amazing. It's a young adult book, so it's very easy to read. The text on the inside is quite big, but it's just such a fantastic book. I'm going to reread this at this time of year because this book is honestly one of the best I've ever read. It's 5-star. Welcome to the Cutthroat Cafe. Seth and his talking cat Nightshade arrive in the magical town of Gramercy to gain an apprenticeship, but he soon discovers that the existing apprentices are under attack at the town's scrumdiddlyumptious cafe, which is far more deadly than it is delightful. Seth's got his hands full as usual. Can he discover who's murdering the apprentices and stop them before they strike again? This book is just fantastic. It is so cozy and you are just plunged into this whimsical world and it is just perfect. It is brilliant for this time of year, so I really recommend picking this book up. I'm going to reread it. I think I'm probably going to start rereading it really soon, to be honest, because I'm in a little bit of a book slump and this will definitely pull me out of it. So I'm so glad I have this book, and I want to pick up more by Nikki Thornton, who is the author. She has other books, The Last Chance Hotel and The Bad Luck Lighthouse. That's what they look like. So I think I'm going to pick those books up as well, because this book was honestly one of the best purchases I've ever made and I love it so much. And as usual, my leg is going dead on these videos because I sit on the floor, so
I can't feel my legs. 1 second.
Now we have The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I also annotated this book. This was honestly... Oh, there goes Billy jumping down again. Just a quick peek at my annotations. This was a brilliant book, and I started reading this at the start of my reading journey. I decided to start this booktube channel a while ago because I knew that I needed to read a lot of books in order to become the best writer that well, I was going to say that I am today, but I'm not the best writer. I'm a good writer, I think, in my opinion, but I knew that I wanted to start this booktube channel because it would keep me focused on my career and on literature, and that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. And this was one of the first books I read on this channel. It's a very old video, so you can go ahead and watch it if you want to, but I read this book in that video and this was honestly fantastic. It is absolutely brilliant. Fate can be changed, curses can be broken. In a shabby house in the new capital of Madrid, Luisa Cortado uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil. But when her scheming mistress discovers her scullion is hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Luisa use those gifts to win over the royal court. And that's all I'm going to read from the blurb of this book. It is absolutely brilliant and fantastic. It is moody, atmospheric, and this is escapism at its finest. You are plunged into this world and it's hard to come back up. It is absolutely brilliant, and the love story in this book is unlike anything I've ever read before, so I absolutely recommend picking this up. And last but not least, we have another classic, and that is Sherlock Holmes. I could talk about Sherlock Holmes for years and years because I am a huge fan of all of the Sherlock Holmes films. I've read the entire collection of the books, and it is quite a thick collection. But I seriously recommend picking up The Hound of the Baskervilles this time of year, because that is the perfect book for this time of year. And it's not that long, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Let me see if I can find it. Here we are, The Hound of the Baskervilles, page 170. Here we are, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Wow. I've forgotten how much I love this book. Look at this. This is absolutely stunning. That's the start of The Hound of the Baskervilles, and it is a relatively long book, but I honestly don't remember it being that long because it was just so immersive and such a brilliant read. I absolutely recommend picking up Sherlock Holmes this time of year, especially The Hound of the Baskervilles, because that is one of the best books ever written, in my opinion. And I love this book so much. I don't have to talk to you too much about Sherlock Holmes because you know who he is. He is a wonderful man, in my opinion. And I absolutely am obsessed with the book and the story and the character. So that's that. So, those are all of the books that I recommend you reading this time of year. Honestly, some of the best books in my collection. I love these books so much, and I seriously recommend you picking them up because I cannot offer you better literature than what I have just shown you. This is honestly some of the best books ever written, in my opinion, and I really hope that you enjoy them. So thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much. You mean the world to me. Stay tuned for more reading vlogs coming soon on my channel. I love you millions and millions, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.